body like a kind of shield. I was charged and excited and, all of a sudden, a little bit scared. This was new territory for me. If I didn't turn tail and run right now, I was about to do something I'd barely even had the guts to imagine. Michael, his green eyes both gentle and hungry, took the purse from my hands and placed it on a chair. Straightening up again, he brushed my hair away from my neck, and then he kissed me, gently, right above my collarbone. A shiver ran down my spine. "Is this okay?" he asked softly. I remembered the way he'd kissed my fingers at the cafe. I remember how I'd said to him, "Let's get out of here." I wanted this. "Yes," I breathed. "It's more than okay." His lips moved up my neck, his tongue touching my skin ever so lightly. He traced a finger along my jawline and then slowly drew it down again, stopping at the low neckline of the dress. I waited, trembling, for him to slip his hand inside the silk. But he didn't. He paused, barely breathing. And then he reached around my back and found the slender zipper between my shoulder blades. He gave it a sharp tug, and the black silk slid down my body in a whisper. I stood there, exposed, breathless, thrilled, and then Michael crushed his lips to mine. We kissed deeply, hungrily. I ran my palms up his strong arms, his broad shoulders. He reached under me and lifted me up, and I wrapped my legs around his waist. He tasted like wine. I whispered my command, "Take me to bed." Then I added, "Please."
"So polite,"
he murmured into my hair.
"Anything you say, Jane."
He carried me to the giant bed and laid me down on it. His fingers found my nipples through the lace of my bra, and then my bra, too, seemed to slip off my body, and his mouth was where his fingers had been. I gasped. "Yes, oh yes, I'm really doing this." His tongue teased me, pulled at me. His hands seemed to be everywhere at once.
"Should I?"
he began. I said, "Don't talk. Just do." I did not add please this time. I wriggled out of my panties as he undressed, and then he was naked before me, golden in the noon light, looking like some kind of Greek demigod descended from Mount Olympus. I stretched up my arms, and Michael fell into them. He kissed me again as I arched to meet him. When he thrust himself inside me, I cried out, rocking against his hips, kissing his shoulder, his neck, his chin. I pulled him into me with all my strength as the heat inside me rose in waves. When I cried out in release, my nails dug into Michael's shoulders. A moment later, he cried out too, and then he collapsed on top of me, panting. I couldn't believe it. I'd really done it. Spent, we both slept for a little while. When I awoke, Michael was standing at the end of the bed, his shirt half-buttoned, his golden chest still visible. A smile broke over his gorgeous face.
"Jane Avery, that was an incredible lunch,"
Michael Bishop said.
"Could I interest you in dinner?"
I smiled back at him from the tangle of ivory sheets. As perfect as he was, as this had been, today was a one-time deal. I wasn't ready to get involved again. "Actually," I said, "thank you, but I have other plans." He looked surprised. A guy like Michael wasn't used to being turned down.
"Okay,"
he said after a moment.
"I get it."
I doubted that he did. "It's not you," I thought. "It's me." After he kissed me goodbye, sweetly, longingly, I turned on the water in the deep porcelain tub. I'd paid $700 for this room, and I might as well enjoy it a little longer. I sank into the bath, luxuriant with lavender-scented bubbles. It was crazy what I'd done, but I'd loved it. And I didn't feel cheap. Au contraire, I felt rich.